this is my blanket disclaimer for all of my videos that are first impressions. It is so raw, and a lot of times I'm going to have negative opinions, like, because they're raw, they're real, and I want people to get an actual sense of what it is like and how I feel. And you've been traveling for all this time and flying and going through airports, and you finally get somewhere and you go for a walk. Like, how do you feel? Like, you're trying to go down a sidewalk and you can't because there's bikes blocking everything. You know, how does that feel? It doesn't mean that's the way you're going to feel on day 4 or day 5. The other channels aren't going to show you that stuff. You know, everything is sunshine and roses, because a lot of times people from these countries watch these videos and they get very defensive when you say something negative. And I get that. I personally don't really understand, like, and there's a lot I don't understand, obviously, it's kind of life, but a lot of people from, I could never see myself like watching a video about California and making comments on that, because if somebody said something negative about California, I would be offended or something. You know, it just wouldn't even cross my mind to even watch a video on California, because I'm from there, so it wouldn't make any sense. So can you leave a comment and let me know who are the people who are watching videos, like, say, on Da Nang, Vietnam? There's some people from here that'll be watching this video. And what motivates you to watch the videos from the place you already live in? Or is it something you just miss? Maybe you live in America now and you're like, hey, that's my home country. I like to watch videos about where I'm from. So, because it's just a curiosity. It's something I don't get. But like and subscribe, of course. And watch this video of when I very first got here, and we'll see how this progresses. But I like to do raw videos of when I first get to a place, so let's go now. Hey, good morning. Hey, welcome to another Gravel on the Ground Da Nang edition. So I just arrived last night. Looked a little bit rainy last night, but it seems to be holding up so far. I just wanted to give you a shot or a little video of actual Da Nang, you know, not like the touristy areas. I'm staying over close to the Golden Bridge, or the Dragon Bridge that breathes fire and whatnot, so I'm sure we'll see that at some point. But I was watching a video from Travis Travel Channel. I'll put a link, of course. And he was saying what his favorite coffee shops were, and I thought, you know, I'll go visit one. And so we're on our way there. It's about a 40-minute walk. I needed an excuse just to go for a walk and listen to some construction. But I'll bring you along to show you what, you know, these are just the regular streets of Da Nang, not anything special. This is just normal people doing their normal things, going to work. It's like, you know, 7:30 a.m. or something. And as you can see, there's really no sidewalk for me to walk on. There is one, but it's full of motorcycles, and let's show this here. Construction. So forget using a sidewalk, and you can see the cars are parked right up to the middle of the street. So if you're going this direction, hard at work, yeah. So this may very well happen to you when you're staying here, that you're staying right next to one of them, something like that. So every once in a while where there is a sidewalk, I'll try and use it, but it looks like kind of a futile effort, really. So, my first thoughts of Da Nang. Well, it is definitely less crazy than Saigon, Ho Chi Minh, which I just came from. Yeah, just a little more chill. I wouldn't call it chill, just a little more chill. I guess, you know, coming from that chaos of the big city, anything would seem relaxed, but it's far from that. This is kind of a back street, so it's not going to have the traffic that the main streets do. We will be. I did go through some main streets. It didn't look overly terrible. From the videos that I had seen, the traffic is just bad at typical traffic times. A little bit in the morning, but really, really bad right around sunset, where people are getting off work, going to the beach, whatnot. Seems to be the worst time to drive. Definitely lots of coffee shops, but not as many as there was on my block in Ho Chi Minh. I think there was probably like 50 just in one block there. It was kind of insane. As I hopefully said in a video about Ho Chi Minh, it's just going down these alleys is going to be such a great idea. There's going to be so much. I mean, I'm on a mission right now to go to this particular coffee shop, but there's probably so many. Like, I ran into a huge brewery right on my block that I had no idea that existed because, you know, alleys. You just wouldn't figure something that big would be on an alley tucked away. But I'm sure there's thousands of examples of that all over. So yeah, just a little taste of a normal block. And then if anything interesting changes, we'll walk all the way up to the main street here so you can kind of see more of a main street. They do love their horns. They love their horns. I have to say, that is one of the things I dislike about Vietnam. When I was in the north, it was far, far, far worse, but it's still pretty constant here. And during traffic time, it's absolutely constant. And you know, I watch the cab drivers, like when I'm taking a grab or something. You know, so you can see when and why they would do such a thing. Wow. Wow, that looks good. And it's really no rhyme or reason. I mean, some of it makes sense. You're like, oh, okay, I want to let this motorcycle know that I'm right next to it, that kind of thing. But some of it just, you know, is like a language I can't understand. They do have quite a few pharmacies here, and they have a lot of stuff. So, and a lot of the things that would take a prescription at home, sometimes you can just get off the shelf here. It just really depends. They do have a lot of, you know, the things that we would consider more like drugs or something, I believe are banned here, so you can't get them at all. But interesting. So here's more of a major street. I don't see any lights around, so I'm gonna have to do the whole, like, get across somehow. So I guess you can join me on my journey here. There's this way. I lucked out going on the other way. So that wasn't bad at all. So just pick your timing and walk deliberately and at the same pace is what people say. I typically just walk with the locals, but that wasn't possible. For that particular thing. It is kind of amazing how interesting things we have just seen. I was going to shut it off till we get to the coffee shop, but there's already so many interesting, quirky things that I was kind of surprised by. I'm glad I kept the camera on. Now, one of the things that I have run into, and the people I've talked to have run into, the food here is amazing, at least to me. I'm a big fan. I feel like compared to something like the Philippines, it's so much healthier. I feel healthier, even though I got a little cold. That's coming from, I believe, all the pollution of the big city. I really overdid it. It was super hot. I really overdid it, and I was walking right next to the major roads all day. Pretty sure that's what got me, but hard to say. You see why everybody wears a mask in the Ho Chi Minh. It's, the air quality is pretty rough sometimes. What was I getting at? Oh. Yeah, the air quality seems a lot better here, but of course it rains, so it's going to. But I have heard on Travis's channel, he does mention that it is way better air quality here. He used to live in Hanoi. When I say the north, that's what I'm talking about. In Hanoi, the honking was, it's like 1,000 times worse than here. And the air quality is a lot worse. On his channel, he kind of suggests people stay for a couple of days in like Hanoi or Ho Chi Minh, which I could say, yeah. I think after a couple of days, most people are going to get annoyed with just how loud and crazy it is. And then want to get out to like the beach or something. I'm going to be here for 20 days, so I'm not really just needing to get to the beach or needing to go find some place that, you know, in particular, some waterfall or something. I've got time to kind of just relax and be. I find that that's, you know, if you can do it, a far better way to travel. Trying to see if maybe there's a better side to walk. Really, they both seem bad, but let's try the other side. At least traffic will be coming towards me. Here's a perfect example of what I mean. They could have easily all parked in a line, which would have gave the place to walk, but it's just not their way. Don't try and change it. You ain't gonna change it. Just relax and let it be and say, oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. That's different. So I feel like now we're getting to a little bit nicer area. You know, the chairs seem nicer, all the different things. Maybe more tourist area, I don't know, but I haven't really seen any tourists yet. A little more decorated. Not posh by any means, but look at these chairs, you know. Some marble. I think we're still only about halfway to where I'm going, though. Now, over in my area by the Dragon Bridge, there's quite a few tourists. And what I've noticed about the tourists... Oh, look at this. See? Look at the way good job. This is awesome. So they have somebody that's parking them, so they park them all in a line so you can get by. Very, very good. Again, that's just my Western sensibilities, trying to change things. Oh yeah, that's what I was getting to before. It's breakfast. Love the food here. And if you eat local, it is like insanely cheap. I mean, insanely cheap. Like literally, fill yourself up for $2 cheap. $2 US. I can eat so much I can't eat anymore. That's me particular, but it probably wouldn't cost much more than that for anybody. Up to $3-4, you know. But for breakfast is a different story. I was saying, I talked to several Westerners here, and breakfast is an issue. There just isn't a lot of local breakfast that really sits right with most Western people. They tend to eat like a soup or something for breakfast, and this doesn't feel like breakfast, at least to me. So there are plenty of options. You just put in breakfast in Google Maps and you will come up with a lot of places. There's even one right there by the Dragon Bridge. I already found it. That will serve a, Eggs Benedict type or English breakfast or pancakes or whatever it is that you're really hankering. I just need like some eggs and sausage, and I feel like I've had some breakfast. Eggs mainly. I have just had plain, hard-boiled eggs. It's just to do the trick. But that American breakfast is gonna set you back, $12, $15, depending on what you get. And yeah, that really, if you're trying to, you came here because it's a less expensive destination, that's gonna really cut into your budget. For me, it just makes sense. I mean, I spend a lot of money on breakfast, then I don't spend money on lunch and dinner. We should be getting somewhat close to where we're headed. I think it's before the next major street up there. I know I'm not bringing you any earth-shattering news here. It's my first day. I'm just trying to kind of get a basic feel for Da Nang. I really, sometimes like Cebu, in the Philippines, I get an instant reaction and it's a yes or no. For Cebu, it was a no, right? For Iloilo, it was a yes. And Chiang Mai was a yes for sure. Lots of places have been yeses, and that's just my own thing. You know, it doesn't mean it's right or correct. We just all have our own gauges of how we feel about a place. Some are in the middle, like Ho Chi Minh City, Saigon. Kind of in the middle for me. I liked it. The place where I was staying was so insanely amazing and quiet in the midst of this crazy city. So it really makes up for a lot. But my place here in Da Nang, I literally got it because I thought it was going to be super quiet by the reviews and whatnot. So I'm willing to pay a little extra for that because I do YouTube videos. I don't want it to be quiet. Like I said, willing to pay a little extra for that. And yeah, it's not exactly what I thought it would be. It's on the second floor. There's karaoke. At least it shut off at 10 last night, but you know, not what I was looking for. And that can be a problem here. If you book something longer term, it's so cheap that you feel like, hey, I can just do it, right? It's not going to be an issue. $300 for 20 days? Come on, right? That's, why would I even worry about it? But now that I'm here, I'm thinking, I want to start looking at another place. So, it just depends. Some people can sleep when it's loud. Some people can work when it's loud. Some people, you know, which is helpful when you're in Vietnam. It's a loud place. But there are definitely places that are quiet. Like I said, Ho Chi Minh City, I got a super quiet place. I've generally been able to find that somewhere in the area, wherever I'm at. So I might be looking for that later. I think we're literally half a block away from where we're headed. Cyber gaming. Interesting. Yeah, I think we're pretty close. Now we're going to Masa. I think he pronounced it differently. But it seemed like a pretty nice cafe. It's his local one that he goes to. And he may or may not be there, but there it is right there. I see it. And he had this avocado, basically it's an avocado coffee smoothie type thing. And I thought, hey, I want that. So we are here. So it's a pretty nice spot. You see this a lot, or you know, where people just will sit out on chairs facing the street. Mostly men in the mornings. Hello, Masa. Do you say Masa? How do you pronounce? Okay. Do you know Travis? Travis Travel? The white guy, kind of strong, coming here? YouTube guy, he sits here? Yeah. No? I don't think they know you, Travis. You're gonna have to, next time you come in, you'll have to introduce yourself. Make sure they know you. Since you're famous around here. All right, so here it is, the avocado coffee. It looks really creamy. It looks really good. Yeah. It's really cold, so it's super refreshing. Like a milkshake. But that avocado for breakfast, this is the only thing I've had so far. Definitely hit the spot. All right, just leaving Masa, which seriously, that avocado coffee was maybe the best thing I've ever had. It's perfect. At least for me, it's perfect. Like, perfect. It's just the perfect combination of everything. man, I just feel good. I mean, just the flavor, the combination of the avocado and the sweetness and the coffee, it's just, wow. Which of course is my biggest problem with Vietnam, is that I can only drink up to 3 coffees a day. And that one was pretty strong, so I don't know. Appears I had the mic off. Sorry if the sound wasn't as good there for a minute. Guess I should be on this side of the road. So what now? Well, we're walking towards the beach. If you can look all the way down there, it just looks empty. If you can see all the way, I'll try and zoom in, or I'll stop. That is the beach. So I will have walked past the area on the other side of where the Dragon Bridge is, all the way over to Masa, all the way to the beach. It's totally possible. In fact, if I walk straight to the beach from my place, it'll probably be a third of the time of this. I walked way, way over to go to Masa. Worth the trip, but unnecessary. This isn't even the main part of the beach is directly across from where I'm staying. So it'll probably be a 20-minute walk. Of course, grab and motorcycle taxi or whatnot. It's going to be super fast and easy. But I'm just somebody who likes to walk. It's just my thing. Now, will I be able to is the question. What if it gets hot? I came at this time of year in particular because I thought it would still be somewhat cool. By next month it probably starts getting really hot. Now, when I was in Saigon, it was insane. I mean, Ho Chi Minh City I fried every day, just fried. And that's what really got me sick, I think, plus the pollution. It just was too much. I got definitely overheated. It's just crazy humidity with really hot. I was talking with some other people. It's like, as soon as you walk down your alley, you are, as soon as you even walk down your own alley, you're already sweat so much that you need to take a shower. It's that bad. It's crazy. But if you just want to take a grab everywhere or something, it's totally doable. I just like to walk. And anywhere that I'm going to want to be long term, I want it to be a place where I can walk. It's like a nice Indian restaurant here. There are, even though it's mostly Vietnamese food, as it should be, you are going to find some different types here, no doubt about it. So if you're getting, like, as I say, there's a pizza place right here. Yeah, they're tourist areas, so of course they're going to cater to tourists, but it's just going to be far more expensive. So it just depends on your budget. But it's still going to be way less than you would pay in the United States. I mean, you really have to try to spend more money here than you spend in the United States. You got to be actively wanting to. I mean, my rent for 20 days is $320. And that's pretty typical. Might even be too much, right? It's just when you're not renting for a whole month, sometimes it's more expensive. Huge difference between here and Philippines. The foreigners in the Philippines were super nice. Like, I met so many, it was kind of ridiculous. And I was happy for it. You know, especially in Iloilo, I didn't see a lot of foreigners, but when I did, they were always very, very friendly. And we ended up hanging out a lot of times. Whereas here, They pretty much ignore you like they would in the United States, for the most part. Now, there's lots of groups and different things you can do to meet people and whatnot, but I really just like that organic thing. And I've only been here a day, so maybe it was absolutely true to me in Saigon, Ho Chi Minh City, that the foreigners were in their own worlds. And maybe that's because they're just tourists and, you know, looking for specific things, and they're on a mission. But I can't say for sure here yet. But as it stands, I will say it's the same. Foreigners are just kind of in their own world. You know, they'll walk by you, won't even acknowledge you exist, kind of like they would in the West. And that's definitely not my thing. For some people, that's like fantastic, and that's exactly what you're looking for. So if that's what you want, you just want people to leave you alone and not really talk to you, it's a great place for that. But overall, feels nice. I mean, when you watch videos about Da Nang, people generally really like it here. I mean, it's a somewhat relaxed beach vibe. I hear the beach is absolutely gorgeous, and it's super, super long. And obviously there's lots of food. And it's super inexpensive. Wow, we are in the foreigner area. Hi, good morning. Wow. We are in the foreigner area. I went from not seeing any to, I'd say, more people are foreigners than are Vietnamese. That is crazy. So this, I'm sure many of you will recognize wherever I am. Probably really easy to get like American breakfast here or something. I can say for sure this is not the area for me. So down each one of these streets, just tons and tons, probably hostels and places to eat and coffee. As you're probably kind of getting from my videos, if you've been watching them for a long time, people is kind of the most important thing to me. It's like the way that people treat each other and treat me, of course, but that kind of trumps everything else. And that, so if you understand that, you kind of get my channel a little bit more. Because ultimately I'm looking for a place that I want to stay. So a lot of people are just traveling, right? And I get that, and I hope that you can gain something from the way that I do things, which is, you know, real basic, real just like, this is what it's actually like. I'm getting so much better at learning how to cross streets. That's, I'm impressing myself. But yeah, just how people are, how people treat each other is super important to me for the place that I'm ultimately going to live. If you're on vacation, maybe it's not such an important thing, or maybe it's something you don't want to deal with. Maybe you want to be in a place where people just leave you alone and you can enjoy the beach You know, like this young lady over here, just sit down, maybe you bring a book, and oh my gosh, there's a corgi. So you just bring a book, like there's places to exercise right here on the beach, and you can just sit down or watch your phone if that's what you're into. Wow, I have to, as is customary for me when I come to a new place, is to, well, whenever I see the ocean, is to put my feet in the water. I just have to do it. Oh, sorry. Doggy's taking a little poo. Don't want to... I mean, it's the perfect place to do it. In the sand, right? Just buried it like a cat. So, that's a good sign to see a corgi. Like, first thing. So I say what we should do. Super chill morning. Look at this. I hear, like, at the end of the day, I mean, yeah, you can have your normal pretty blondes, I guess. And surfers. I think I've seen this place up here before. This is what I've been looking forward to. This is why you come to Da Nang, right? So that you can just enjoy the beach. I mean, I can walk on this thing for, I mean, look how far you can go. And I think that's what I intend to do, is just walk. Nothing wrong with that, right? Getting ready for a little qigong, I believe. She's not just clapping at the ocean. I wouldn't mind getting on some of that qigong action out here too. It's funny how my attitude and my feelings change right when I touch the water. Like, that literally made so much difference in just my overall feelings. Is that true for anybody out there? Anybody who could make it this far through the video? Is the ocean just do that for you? Like, literally touching the water, and feels like, you know, the womb or the mother or whatever. It just really calms me down. Makes me feel like everything is well. Maybe we'll do some surfing while we're here. Definitely some long walks on the beach. Told you I love walking. Well, there's no better place to walk than on the beach. And for those of you who, like, you know, sipping a Mai Tai by the beach all day is your thing, well, they've got that here as well, of course. It's just, you know, everybody can have what makes them happy. Probably a pretty rough day to be taking surf lessons, but that's what's up. Yeah, I can see some surf lessons. Yeah, that's a pretty wild day. I wonder what the waves are generally like. All right, well, I'm gonna end this video here. I think it's been long enough, but I think you get an overall vibe of what it's like here. And I will see you in the next one. Love y'all.